It is the first full day of the darkest half of the year, and I thought I would share with you, well, some journal pages, but mainly my rendition of the Sinister Tarot based on the images of Christos Beest from the Black Book of Satan to Caelethi. And as I've pointed out with other sigilia, whether you're for or against a particular entity, the symbol drives home the subject matter. And a symbol plus a drawing makes for a good summary of the subject matter at hand. And, and I'm turning the pages with the left hand, So obviously we're looking at this for the zero, or what would be the fool. We're looking at, Moon at the bottom, Saturn at the top, and on the right you have Jupiter and Venus. On the left you would have Mars and Mercury, and in the center would be Sun. And I think they have the same order. If anybody knows how to translate this little alphabet that's in some of the cards, let me know. I've looked for it. Maybe there's another book. There's Hostia and some other ones that there's a lot of Order of Nine Angles material. And I'll go into what the names mean elsewhere. Instead of the Magus, you get the Nas card. And some of these have the sigil encoded in the drawing. There's another offer that's coming up with the Sinister Tarot that has some of the images look like, they're sort of compiles that of objects or whatever that kind of look like the sigil at hand, instead of the Aosoth would be instead of, what's the word? After the Magus here, we have the High Priestess and the Empress would be the Dagon. And it appears that some of these names are from different languages and not quite exact, and I would figure that these names all have meanings. They're not just referring to beings. But Maktoron would be the Emperor of sorts. And, I'm all in purple here, but I would suppose that, just like other ones, maybe I'll have some sort of experience that gives me insight that's not really quite shared in the text that I'm reading. It's like that transference of the secret in the Sufi literature, and you hear of the secret that's passed on, that's not just your orthodoxy and your orthopraxy. It's an experience of initiation. It's an experience of the practice and the belief or whatever. But a Tasoth would be the Hierophant. That's one of the most interesting symbols of the whole thing. And for the lovers, you have Davsina or Davkina, or I'm not. A Xanagan would be the Chariot sort of card. And a Batu would be sort of the Strength card, wouldn't it? Would it be the Strength? The adjustment, justice. Let's compare it with 11. Would 11 be the Strength card? No, I guess 11 would be the Lust sort of card, and the 8 would be the Abatu, would be like the card showing the adjustment or the scales, or the sort of the Libra sort of card, which some people believe it's Sun in Libra right now, but if you're dividing into 12 and it's the age of Aquarius, we're talking about, it's a Leo time of year, as far as dividing things that way, and it's Corvus, the raven or whatnot. But anyways, 9 would be the Hermit. Yeah, that would be the Hermit sort of card. The Vilpecula. Oh, Vilpecula. And instead of a Wheel of Fortune, you have Vindex. And there's this prophecy right now going on that I have came across, or well, not maybe plan, more like it, that some say in Japan, there's a figure that's, their Vindex is going to be known, the Order of Nine Angles Vindex is going to be known in Japan, and he's 21 right now, and I'm not sure how much truth that is, but it's a powerful enough of an organization that it very well could produce these sorts of rumors. The Sauraktanas would be, that Lust, that Strength card. And yeah, very interesting. We're talking but you're by yourself, which is an interesting difference. It's by yourself with the strange creatures. The Hanged Man would be Noctulius. Then you're really left all alone, is what's being portrayed there, I think. Instead of Death, you have Nithra. And I don't know, is the Sphinx sort of character, is it dying or is it beginning? And I guess that's something you want with that sort of card. Instead of an art card, you have a Satanas, which is, of course, Greek for Satan. And the sigil is very stereotypical of but, again, none of these symbols have to be good or bad or for or whatnot. But if you're referring to, Shugara, that would be the devil card. So instead of the art, the temperance card, you have, and then you have the Shugara card with the symbol there. And I don't know, I guess they're accepting Satan as a leader, and instead of, it's the other side and that sort of thing. I guess it's, anyways. And then we move on to Nakala. And that would be the Tower card. Little child with its crystal and so there's a fragment and it's building up, but it's kind of, so their Aquarius sort of card, their star card is Gawath Am, another sort of, the tower is a plan, and the star is, they're actively playing that, but there's this star game where they arrange things for divinatory or symbolic sort of purposes. And here, instead of a moon card, you have the banana, and I guess they could be witches out there left all alone. Instead of a sun card, you have Karu Samsu. And it gets me thinking more of a moon, although in the book we're not talking colored images. And, I've been reading and writing various things I believe or disbelieve in different levels, and the judgment, the age, the Nameku, I don't know, kind of a prom sort of theme going on there, I guess, or an actress, and then the world, which I guess makes more sense as something, but the work is complete as opposed to when it began with some just sort of planetary principles. And just like the Buddha Tarot, there's an extra card, the Alastaros, with its musical scale repeated 7 times, and I don't know what this says, and if you do render into letters, is it a different language than English to begin with? And it's a very extensive sort of symbol going there from that little sulfur thing across there and that little row, and that's sort of the symbols involved in the... I mean, it'd be interesting to work with, not necessarily whether... I mean, there's a difference between demonology and demonolatry, and one does not have to worship the demons to go through that, but there is the experience that some people have in that, and that's what they're pushing for. Not that they're serving the demons in a subservient sort of way, but they are worshiping demons. But you can know of such symbols and think about that. So you can study the meaning and the practice, and some people would do exorcisms, and there's a lot of interesting things you can do with symbols. But what does that all mean? Tell me if anyone knows.